Hey guys, welcome back to another Bitcoin update for Crypto Down Under. We are the 23rd of August, at least here in Australia. Friday the 23rd of August. I think it's still the 22nd in the US right now. But where did we last kick off? The last update, I think I should have it in here somewhere. There we were. So a few days have passed. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th. It takes 5 days. Okay. Sorry about that. It's been a few days. But we are, what I've sort of noticed in some kind of rising structure, of course. Rising wedge, I would say. If I zoom out a little, you can see that. The apex for which it's not until like all the way up here, but I doubt the price will channel all the way into that tight apex up there. Very unlikely, but since then, yeah, it's been kind of a range. It's been somewhat range bound. We're still in the broader range as well, the macro range, but let's have a look at where we could be heading in the next, next few days. So the textbook outcome, as we all know, of a rising wedge is to go down out of a rising structure. So bounce, 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 and then, perhaps we get back in touch with this. Now, if that fails and we head down, that would be like the textbook outcome for this structure. However, there are sort of examples in the past, not even that long ago, where the result of a rising wedge has produced a breakout to the upside. So, there's no guarantees with price, with chart patterns per se. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, still tracking these trends. There is an upper boundary and a lower boundary. You can see I've got a sub trend in here as well. If we go down to the 5-minute chart, you can really see it. And that looks like, at least recently we've been spending a lot more time on the bottom side of that boundary. And, I wouldn't be surprised if we come down to go check this line again. And then we'll see if that actually holds this time. There's a good chance it'll break down if it does visit it once again. Just based off that, textbook type thing, right? Let's zoom out a little. Let's go out to like the 4-hour chart. I'm going to hide this last update tag here. We'll move that at the end of this video. So the price to beat, at least for now, the structure that is staring us in the face, this is the high that we have to get above. This is why I've got this yellow line coming across here. We are technically still in, I would say, let's see, let's mark this out. We have to figure out what we're in on this sort of time frame. So this part here was an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. But then we broke the character back to a down, like this. That's down. And now, so technically, if you look at it, we need to get above this one more so to change the character back to up. We're still underneath some of these highs. If you trace, let me just start this section again. So if you trace this out, this is, downtrend here. You could even pick out that high there as downtrend. But then once we got back, this was equal highs, I would argue, about there. Down, and then here we've broken the character. So we are heading up in this wedge. That's, that's clear. But it just depends how smoothed out you want to make it. You could even argue that this is what's happened so far, and that we're working on coming up to to challenge this high. But yeah, you can cut it many ways. You can be as detailed or as, you know, smoothed out as you want to be. And even on a higher time frame, it's going to tell a different story again. So on the daily chart, as we know, nothing's changed with the trend so far. We've got, you know, lower highs, lower lows, so to speak. And we're working on this upswing here, which has no guarantees of anything. There's no guarantee that we're going to come up and break through 70K. We just have to wait and see, wait for the candles to produce the result, and we work off that confirmation of where we've, you know, everything else is speculation until then. But yeah, you can see on the bigger picture, that rising wedge that I was talking about is quite, you know, it's not a huge deal on the bigger picture, right? This is the big picture. So yeah, so this is what I wrote in on my very first Bitcoin update video. Price is currently in a downtrend as we are getting lower highs on the daily chart, and that is still the case. You know, if we're adhering to this red line, if we're still following this trend on the top side, we are still in a downtrend on the daily. There's no question. To break that, we have to get a new higher high. And then we look at the lows. It switches from us focusing on the highs to us focusing on the lows, getting higher and higher. And that's what this in white writing is over here. So uptrend, downtrend. You're focusing on different components to the trend when you're depending on what character it is. So current character, downtrend. All right. There is a Fibonacci level that we can have a look at too. I'm going to say that this is the macro pivot at the moment up here. And this is our lowest low since then, which is quite a tall wick. If you notice that, if you're using wick length as kind of like a clue as to where the pressure is, there's a lot of buy pressure at this level here. You know, getting anything at around 50 or a touch lower is a good price, so the market thinks. So let's take a Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low, and we'll see where that lands us. So we're currently fighting with the 0.5 fib level. Let me hide some of these lines so we can see it clearer. Okay. And even this line should be dashed so that it's not. Okay. So Fibonacci speaking, if that's a word, we're trying to get above that 0.5 fib level. You can see it's the green one here. So it's providing a lot of resistance. You know, we just can't get that breakout yet. It just hasn't happened. We're toying with it. We are visiting it many times on repeat though. So I don't know. Like I'm not totally sold on the rising wedge means we go down outcome. I still think that there's a chance we could pop up and invalidate the rising wedge, just like we did back over here. So there was a rising wedge. There's a few of them. If you take this part here, this technically is a rising wedge as well. I'll just do it with these gray lines, but you can see it popped up out the top, which was, you know, textbook unexpected, the less likely outcome. But you know, though it wasn't for long, like it did, you know, it came back down eventually, and we slumped sideways. If not, we chopped through it, so it didn't really produce much, to be honest. But yeah, there are examples of rising wedges being invalidated and going up instead. I think there's another one. This is a bit more of a cleaner example of that getting invalidated. So Bitcoin likes to keep us guessing, that's for sure. You can't be too sold on any like chart pattern ideas for too long, because it likes to invalidate them. Falling wedges though, like this was a really nice trend to follow. I know I'm talking about trends a lot now. But how are we doing for time? 10 minutes. Okay, I will wrap this up shortly. But yeah, like you can see, that was more of a channel, I would argue, that broke upward. So a falling channel, breakout to the upside. A rising channel, just like here, rising channel, breakout to the downside, the underside. However you want to cut that top edge, probably more like this. So this was more textbook, rising wedge, fall out to the bottom side. So yeah. Anyway, in conclusion, just to wrap it up, just to summarize, still in a daily downtrend. We're sort of at the middle of the road with this falling structure. Rising wedge, textbook, go down. But we've seen a few invalid rising wedges lately, so it could as well, break up. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I don't really have a bias at the moment for it. So sorry about that. I can't give you my edge. But it really wouldn't surprise me. We haven't visited the red line in a while. It's not since over here, so it wouldn't surprise me if we invalidate this rising wedge and come up and test that. So it's a tricky time for Bitcoin. It's very hard to make calls that you can be, comfortable with. So I won't do that. I don't want to throw anyone off. But yeah, those are the options there. Of course, down or up. I mean, surprise, surprise. But yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into another Crypto Down Under video. Remember to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you have anything you want to chat about. And I'll catch you in the next update.